People will only treat you the way that you allow them to. And hear me and hear me well. A lot of people don't understand what that means, but what it means is that when people are mistreating you and you're allowing them to do that without standing up for yourself, you're giving them permission to treat you that way. It's not about, well, they ought to know how to treat people. That's true. But we live in a world and a generation where common courtesy and respect is not the norm. And so if you have absolutely no backbone and you have no self-worth and self-value or self-respect, you are allowing that. So don't get mad at people when they treat you a certain way, because they're only treating you, number one, how you allow them to, but number two, how you feel about yourself. If you're tired of people manipulating you, stop being an easy target. Stop standing up for it. Stop allowing people to manipulate you. Stop being a people pleaser. A lot of times we're so afraid to lose people that we will be people pleasers, and we are allowing them to use us and manipulate us at will because we don't want to be alone. It's okay to be alone. I promise you, you won't die. In fact, you'd be better off being alone and having your self-respect and your dignity than to be somebody's yes man and be walked all over. And I say this because it pertains to every area of life. It pertains to your walk as a Christian. You can choose to let the devil walk all over you, or you can choose to stand up and say, you know what, I'm stronger than this and I'm tougher than this, and I know that these things are coming up against me and these things are coming my way, but I'm too strong for this. I'm not no punk. So if people are treating you a certain way, you got to think about, how do I feel about myself and how am I treating myself? Am I portraying that I'm a person who's okay being mistreated? Am I portraying that I'm a person who doesn't know my own worth, and so I allow the way that others treat me to determine my worth? I'm allowing other people to tell me how much I'm worth by the way that I'm allowing them to treat me. And it took me a very long time to learn this, not because I didn't love myself or even want to love myself, but because I really just did not understand that I was a yes man. I was someone who was so afraid to lose people that I would let them treat me in any kind of fashion, any kind of way. And I would accept that because I was so afraid that if I did not allow them to have their way with me, then I was going to lose them. But guess what? I have the gift of goodbye now because I know my worth. I'm okay with being alone. I've chosen to answer the call that God has, sent forth in my life, and that is a very lonely road. A lot of people don't like to be friends with peers who are trying to stand up for God, because it's a strong position to be in. It's actually very difficult. It's not easy. And so a lot of people will abandon the ship and abandon you, because when you start walking for God and living in your purpose, you get very strong. You find a backbone and a strength that you never knew you had, and people who used to use you and they are used to having their way with you will abandon you because they see that they can no longer have their way in your life. So I'm telling you now, find your confidence. Start treating yourself better, because if people see you treat yourself that way, then they know that they have permission to do the same thing. So if people are treating you a certain way and you don't like it, I advise you to, number one, find out how you're treating yourself, because in their mind, well, if they don't feel any better about themselves than this, then cool, I know I don't have to treat them any better than that. You've got to find your own worth. You've got to have some standards, because the way that you treat yourself is the standard that you set for the way that other people treat you. So don't get mad if people are taking advantage of you. Do you stand up for yourself? Do you put your own self down? Do you, allow people to do that? People can only do and treat you however it is that you treat yourself, and however it is that you're giving them permission to treat you. Had to share it.